Hey, welcome back everyone. In this video, we're going to be going over a few sections. The topics we're going to be covering is how to comment in Python, difference between regular comments and multi-line comments, and we're going to be learning how to create variables, and also the difference between valid and invalid variable formats. So let's get started. I wanted to go ahead and rename the project. We start off with test. Let's name it lesson1.py, and let me just run this program to make sure everything's working as expected. Yep, it is still printing out hello world, and let's move on with our next lesson. So comments are just notations on your program, so you can write comments, and as you see already on my screen, I have made a few comments. This is a sample of a comment. And the difference between hello world and comment. So if I'm going to delete this line. We're going to print hello world again right here. Not worried about capitalization, proper formatting right now. And you can tell that only hello world prints out, but this is just a comment on there. So this, you're going to be writing comments as you're developing to help you understand how your code is functioning. So that's where comments come in handy. So you can write as many different comments as you would like, or as many comments as you would like to help you develop, or for others when they're reading your code for them to understand. So the next line we're going to be covering is multi-line comment. So the way you can write multi-line comment, of course, is comment 1 and comment 2. So those are that's another way of writing multiple comments in different lines. There is another way for you to write comments in a block, which is a string format. It's not actually commenting, but you're actually writing string formats, which you will learn about later on. So I can write multiple different lines of comments as I needed to. Comment on and on. Commenting more things, follow code charmer, can't spell, so code charmer, like code charmers videos. So this, as you can see, these are examples of how you can write multi-line comment and store it for your development project. So Python projects that you're working on, you can write comments, so it's easier for you to read what you're developing, and it's also easier for other people that are reading your code to pick up on what's going on. The next topic we're going to be covering is variables. What are variables? Variables are containers for storing data. So let's take a look at examples of some of the variables. So for example, we can have the variable of x storing a value for us, and that value is going to be the number 5. So that's an example of that, and let's go ahead and print that out. So we're going to see hello world being printed from the previous line, and we are actually setting the variable x equal to the number 5, and we're printing it out over here. So let's look at another example of variable where we are setting the variable of y equal to hello, and let's go ahead and print this out as well so we can see. So it's going to first print out hello world, then the number 5, and it's going to print hello for the variable y. And another thing we were going to test out is how to actually overwrite the value of the variable. So what we're going to do is, for the value of x, since we already used the value of x up top, we're going to reuse that variable, but we're going to assign it a new value, which is going to be world. So let's go ahead and print this out as well. And you're going to see the values that are going to be printed is going to be hello world first, then it's going to print out the value of 5 and hello and world. Oh, I printed y. It should have been x because that's what we set the value of. So there you go. Now we printed out the number 5 from printing out the x variable. Printing out the y variable gave us hello, and when we printed out the x variable again, it gave us the value of world. So let's go ahead and combine the things that we've learned so far, and let's give a few comments saying variable x holds the value of 5. Let's copy and paste. Variable y holds the value of hello. And usually you want to have a little bit of spacing so it's easier to read. Let's do that. And we're going to do variable x is being reassigned to hold value of world. Let's go ahead and save and let's run it one more time. We've just learned about variables. Let's look at the next topic, which is valid variable names. So valid variable names are as stated. So you can give it my variable name as test. You can give it my underscore variable equals test. You can also do underscore test. Oh, sorry. Let's do underscore my underscore variable equal test. And we will also do camel case, which is my capital V, my variable equals test. And we can also do all caps, my variable equals test. Let's keep it consistent. And we can also do my variable, and you can assign it a number as well, test. So these are all valid variables, and once I run this, we're still going to see the values from before. We're not going to see any of these because we're not printing out these values. We're just setting these variables to, we're assigning it a value. So for example, if you wanted to see what my variable 2 was going to be printing out, let's make it a little bit different. Let's give it test2. So my variable 2, I'm just copy pasting that in there, and you're going to see test2 being printed on our console right here on the bottom. There you have it. And then let's look at some of the invalid variables that you cannot have. That print statement can stay. So some of the invalid ones are, you cannot start a variable name with a number. So I cannot be like my variable and give it a value of test as well. And I'm going to run this to show you that it's going to give a syntax error because that is not a valid format in Python. And some of the other ones that are not valid are my variable equals test. And you can already tell if it has the red squiggly underneath, that means something's wrong and Python's complaining about that. You can always hover over to see what's going on, and it's not giving that many details, but it's an invalid variable name. That's why it's not working. So another thing you can other people try out is my variable with space, and that is not a valid variable name as well. And if I run this again, you're going to see that it's an invalid syntax because it cannot be set. So these are the topics I wanted to cover today. So we went over comments, we went over variables, we also went over valid types of variables and some of the invalid ones in this lesson. So go over this by yourself. Practice makes perfect. So give this a shot and learn on your own. Practice with these, and then let me know if you run into any trouble. Please comment and let me know if you have any other feedback for me in these videos. And thank you very much. I appreciate it.